Thanks, Group 1, for your presentation. It was very interesting and fun to watch. Our presentation is going to be about medical insurance costs. So team members are listed there. I'd like to thank my team members for all being engaged and present and giving good feedback and respectful feedback to each other. Thanks a lot, guys. Let's talk about our agenda pretty quickly. I won't read this whole thing, but in general, we're just kind of going from general ideas to more specific ideas as we go along. And then hopefully we'll finish off with a live demo of our code and then do a Q&A. So let's talk about what problem are we trying to solve? What questions are we trying to answer with our data? Two of them. First, is there some kind of relationship between medical costs and the different variables that you see bullet listed on the slide? Second question is, if there is some relationship there, can we make some kind of recommendation to different stakeholders, people like insurance companies, policymakers, and individuals? So what we found is we can definitely make some conclusions about the relationships between costs and different groupings or variables. We felt we couldn't really come up with some definite, what I would call actionable items for the different stakeholders, but what we could come up with were different suggestions that they might want to explore. So for our analysis, in general, we found these four factors were most influencing: age, BMI, which is body mass index, and smoking status. So all three of those, that came as no surprise.
I think we lose Thomas.
We cannot hear you, Thomas.
We can't really say.
Sorry, Thomas, we miss you for maybe a minute.
Now I'm going to hand it over to my colleague Indu, who's going to talk more specifically about the KPI for BMI and for different regions.
Margie? Yeah.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
Yeah, thank you, Thomas.
Yeah, my headphones decided to cut out for no reason at all. So, yeah, go to the previous one. I think, as I was mentioning, we can draw some kind of conclusion with the analysis about these three different categories were influential, as you might expect: age, BMI, and smoking status. Geographic location was also instrumental, but we don't know why. There are some regions that were more costly than others, and it might be the lifestyle is less healthy in those different regions, or the cost of living just might be more, but nothing in the data suggested why this might be the case. So as I mentioned, when you couldn't hear me, I'm going to hand it over to Indu, who will talk about the KPIs for region and BMI.
Thank you, Thomas. This is the KPI we derived from the given data. It shows that Southeast region has the highest medical cost. Let me show you how this factor impacts the medical cost. So this is the correlation of BMI and medical cost. This trend line in the scatter plot suggests that both genders exhibit a positive correlations between BMI and medical cost. And this red line shows that average medical cost. From the given population, we observe that 79% of individuals have a BMI greater than 25, while 21% have a BMI lesser than 25. You can see in the scatter plot that after the range of 25, there is the data is strongly correlated. Therefore, we intend to conduct a deeper analysis of BMI. Now here we broke down the data by different age groups and calculated the average BMI and medical cost. You can see here from the bar chart, when the ages increases, the medical cost and the BMI also increases. But the BMI increases, there is a slight increase in the BMI, but the medical cost increases higher. So we can take here the age is the first risk factor, and then the BMI. Here thus we conclude that BMI and age impacts the medical cost. Let me pass on to Jeff to know about impact of smoking on the medical cost.
Thank you. I am going to now discuss some information about smokers that we found. First I put together a bar chart for smokers by age, and this is just a pure number of smokers. What's surprising here is that our number of smokers go down after the age of 50. That could be possibly by the factor of negative health outcomes forcing people to quit smoking. And also, the other surprising thing is that there are so many under 21 smoking, because in a lot of areas, the smoking age isn't even 18 anymore, it is 21. Then I broke it down first for males, and I did a scatter plot of age and charges first for smokers and then for non-smokers. For smokers, you can see there's almost two lines here that are kind of two curves. So there's one of, I would say, average outcomes, and there's one of bad outcomes. On my charts there, the red line represents the average cost of that for that chart. But when you look at non-smokers, there's only one strongly defined curve, and then there's some outliers. So when there's smokers, people are moving from that lower tier of cost to a higher tier of more towards the outlier costs. And one thing I want to note here is that while it may look like the numbers are just as high for smokers and non-smokers, if you look at the y-axis, actually, these two charts will indicate that the costs overall are higher for smokers because we had to use smaller units on the non-smokers to get a good picture that would, display. All right, now I'm going to talk about the female smokers and non-smokers. So first we have female non-smokers, similar to the male non-smokers, just with those outliers. We left these outliers in here because when you compare it to, once again, smokers, those outliers combine into almost a second line. So when we're dealing with smokers just in general, we have slightly more expensive or much more expensive. And that would probably be smokers in general having higher costs, but then a higher possibility of adverse outcomes. All right, now I'd like to pass it to Ivy to discuss our recommendations and challenges.
Thank you, Jeff. Can everybody hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so as for the recommendations, actually, we are talking about, our recommendations should be aiming for both individual, corporation, and the insurance company. But the recommendation we draw here just for the insurance company, since we thought this is helping the insurance company to make decision on how to optimize their, insurance premium making. So the first thing we are think about is that insurance companies should consider more factors to aid their decision, like the customer's lifestyle choices, whether they are healthy, and whether they have family medical histories, and whether they got pre-existing conditions. And as you may already find out that we already did some analysis based on some combination of factors impacting the medical expenses, like the age of smokers, like Jeff just introduced, and also like age and gender. And we think insurance companies should consider to include more factors in combination before they make decision, on the pricing of the premium. And the third one is actually not a recommendation. We thought it's more like, the corporate social responsibility for the insurance company. When they saw all these data, actually they should help to promote a more healthy lifestyle and to help improve the overall health level of the society. So, and the last recommendation we draw here is that we think the insurance company should really, study their historical loss data. So to adjust their policy based on the level of different factors we talk about here and we don't talk about, so they can find a more profitable market for a specific product they designed. And we are also facing some challenges, after we do this analysis. And most of the challenges actually is coming from the data. Since we have limited time to decide on data, we like this topic, but we have to admit that this data set we use has some limitations. And like, lacking the matching and past insurance premium information to make a really reasonable model and compare with the other factors to see which is the most important factor, to determine the insurance rate. And also the one we use has no timeline. So it's hard for us to make a predicate the future medical cost. And also we saw that if we can find a bigger data set, which will surely provide more, reliable analysis basis, so we can aim to get for, this project. And so far, this is the, project challenge we have. And now I will pass to Maji. So Maji will give a, live demo, so everybody can see how he did the job.
Thank you, Ivy. I'm going to live our code. This is our studio. Okay, and this is our final code. Everyone can hear me, right?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Okay, I'm going to copy this file and put it in clean script, and I'm going to run, and they are going to generate PDF file in this folder, medical insurance. And Tushar, you can also see that PDF file through email. I'm sorry, that's restarting my R session. Somehow memory issue, they always restarting this R session. They stuck here. We can go our question answer, and meanwhile I'll restart this RStudio.
I have not received an email yet. Just want to let you know.
Yeah, but I need to run that script.
Okay,
Then
no
you
problem.
can see.
No problem. So first of all, awesome presentations and excellent graphs and charts and PowerPoint. So great work, guys. Questions like how you and your group started working together, and how did you derive to use medical data for your project?
I feel that our group started working together. We started meeting on WhatsApp at first, and actually using that call function in WhatsApp. It is limited to where you couldn't screen share, but we could still talk to each other. Some of our schedules were different, so it was hard to align all the time, but at the same time, if certain people couldn't make it, we would list things on WhatsApp, and we came up with 3 or 4 different data sets, that we were suggesting, and we all kind of took a vote and kind of democratically decided on what data set to work with. And from there, we moved on to task distribution, where and that kicked into our experience with R so far. Some of our team members didn't have as much R experience because they were coming into the class late, and we understood this. So we divided the main coding between the members that were had the most R experience, and then was sharing the code back and forth. But we all kind of developed our own number of KPIs, and then combined that code. And we had help then from the team that had less R experience to tell the story that code would entail. So for our PowerPoint, we have an idea of what data we're using and what KPIs we're using. Now let's take that and tell a story with that.
Got it.
So code is running here, and we are copy that. This is our generator file report, and we are using this file to sending everyone emails. So we are making everyone emails here so everyone can see at the time. So you can also see that PDF file. So here our charts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, everything together in one PDF file. So we did this generated file to everyone.
Awesome, really good. So did you guys enjoy working for this R programming project?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
So first of all, quite impressive work and presentations and overall recipe. And you kind of managed time almost there. So first of all, congratulations for completing such kind of beautiful project. This kind of thing, if you present in an interview, it will look like, you have been doing this for many years. Your presentations has, especially Thomas, great presenter. When you are presenting, Ivy, great. When you're presenting, right, it's like convincing enough, right? And Jeff, I love that when you started using data, then chart, then references, and then conclusion. Awesome. That's a perfect recipe for anyone. If you are trying to influence somebody or trying to convey a message, hey, what I'm learning from this data, let me educate you. Excellent. Because C executive loves that. Why? Because why you are showing me? That's what C executive will say. Why you are showing me? You know everything. Just tell me essence. And the essence means what I need to do, right? Rather than, going through a lot of things, you just say, hey, look at this data, look at this thing. You can see non-smoker has a less cost. Perfect. That's the message you're taking home. So basically, if hidden data is clear that if I'm not smoking, maybe I may have a less cost to pay. That's the message I think you are emphasizing with the various graphs. So awesome work. Margie, I love the email part because that's called, message to the home, right? Because at the end of the day, everyone likes to see end-to-end working software, right? So great work there. And I'm sure Indumati working with this group, you also enjoyed because, it's always a team aspect. When you work with the group, you learn a lot from each other's, like like what we call strength and weakness, and that gives you a team aspect. We call team dynamics. So overall, awesome.
Yeah.
Any questions you have for me, by the way?
One question.
Yes.
Yeah.
What is the reason for keeping the outliers? Why the outliers was not removed?
Yeah, we removed the outliers after generating the KPI to generate the data to know the average age and average BMI. We removed the outliers and then we gather the data for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, generally outlier, if you are having outlier, it kind of change your, what do you call, conclusion, because it might fudge the data or skew the data. So it's important. Now let me share. Yeah, Ivy, question?
I'm just want to ask the group one, is that possible? Is that okay to ask if you want to share your code? Because I think they did great job and I want to learn from them. So is that okay if they can share, their code?
Yeah, definitely we should say.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, we can do
And
that. Of course, of
yeah,
course.
we also we would also like to have your code too.
Yeah,
so that
I
we
think
can
that's a
learn new
nice
things.
idea.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Sure,
can
sure.
exchange.
Put it in
Yeah.
WhatsApp.
Yeah, let's do that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
great.
No, it's a learning experience, right? Let me share a couple of jobs here. Just want to make sure you guys can see this thing.
I'm going to stop. Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah, so please understand, I'm right now in a Google, right now searching data analysis, R programming jobs, right? And I always believe, and this is my personal belief, anything you start, try to see with the end things in a end goal in a mind, right? You are here. Some of you are taking already multiple classes, right? Some of you have taken maybe database class. Some of you have taken, let's say, Power BI class. Some of you have taken Tableau class. Some of you have taken Excel class. Some of you are taking R class. Some of you are taking Python class, right? So you are taking this many classes. Now the end goal is to get a job, right? Now let's take 3 what you call jobs as a reference and see how much we are prepared. How much I know and can I apply for this job, right? Yeah, no problem, Randy. So we'll start with a couple of jobs here just to, give you idea that you are very close to finish line. So if I click on here and if I come here, now you can see here what they're asking. Excel, R, data visualization, you can read that. Presentation skills. That's all they're asking. Rest of the things, it's just a text. So this job you can apply. And I just want to tell you, this kind of jobs, even though it's entry level, the salary will be around 80 to 90,000, even 18 level, entry level. Okay. And now if you go other one, let's pick anyone, right? Those who have done medical, you might want to select medical related thing. This type of jobs are also interesting. Business analyst and data analyst. If you click on it, see what they're asking. SQL, experience in handling large volume of data, which is definitely strong analytical skill, which is by default when you do database, right? Strong communication ability to present. Look at that. This is the key, present. And I'm emphasizing again and again, because if you are not good presenter, you become a doer. Don't be wrong. But in that case, you are playing individual role. But if you become a presenter with the data, your salary will go out of the roof, 200, 300,000, because that's the area where C executive get maximum value. Many people, what they say, I know Power BI, I'm a Power BI certified, I'm database certified. Those are technical skill. But presentation is a communication skill, influencing skill, where you are now helping decision maker. That is something you can only learn by practicing presentation. I'm very thankful that I teach a class. Most of my work is all presentation, and that really helped me to present wisely. Practicing. It's very helpful. Go to any job, you will have that requirement presentation skill, because you can do all reporting, but when you hand over to your manager will not understand. He or she will say, why don't you present in a meeting? I'll be there. At that time, again, you have to, come up with the same techniques in 5 minutes, how you can communicate a specific message so audience can take that message home. Just couple of, idea, like example, if I go here, right? 1 year, you all can be qualified SQL. So if you're sitting at home and you're thinking about perfect moment, I would say just apply now. It's okay to fail in exam or interview, but there is not no many experience required here. If you're taking Power BI, Tableau, Excel, database, you are already 3 years of experience, because those content is almost 3 years plus worth. So, and if let's example, Ivy or example, Thomas or example, Margie, if you are presenting yourself in interview, I can give you a guarantee you will have a higher success rate.
Evening. We are actually going to use Netflix as our means of determining some data from the amount of data that we received, and we'll be using that data to share with you. We're going to actually introduce our team members. Team number 1 is Avani. Team number 2 is Randy. Team number 3. Member number 3 is Corey and IFA. All team members will be participating in this presentation today. Why we chose this topic? We wanted to use our Netflix data to determine viewing habits and preferences. Start my video, my apologies. Determine viewing habits and preferences. Identify trends and patterns. We did come up with a business problem, which is leveraging Netflix content catalog. Our problem statement states as follows. As a leading streaming service, Netflix aims to maximize its content offerings while ensuring an engaging user experience. The goal is to strategically utilizing its vast content catalog to attract and retain subscribers worldwide. We have determined some key performance indicators, which include insights into distribution of Netflix data as per year, number of TV shows and movies available on Netflix in the top 5 countries, and an overall understanding of distribution of TV shows and movies on Netflix based on our available data. Analyzing the popular genres from data, and finally, analyzing the data from rating to find popularity. The scope of our report includes the following. The scope of the report is to analyze and visualize the Netflix movies and TV shows retrieved from Kaggle on 26 April 2024. The data pertains to the collection of TV shows and movies available on the streaming platform Netflix until mid-2021. The data set is exciting since Netflix is one of the largest streaming services globally as of September 2021. Netflix has more than 209 million subscribers in over 190 countries. Because of its tremendous popularity and vast assortment of movies and TV shows, the Netflix dataset serves as an ideal source for analysis. I now would like to turn it over to Avani to begin discussing libraries.
Okay, so these are the libraries list we have used in our data analysis for Netflix data. So we have used the ggplot2. This is the backbone for our project. Everybody knows that we use ggplot for our visualizations, and the ggthemes is an additional library for ggplots, and the lubridate is useful for data set we are using with time frames. The dplyr is used for data manipulation in R. Then tidyr using for tidy the data. Then dt uses for data tables. Then scales are using for graphical scales. We can automatically map the data to the correct scales with well-placed axes. Then SQL TF we can use to access the SQL queries. Then pheat map, and then tidy words we have used for also data manipulation, visualization, and analysis. And the magritr we have used for the pipeline. Then string R we have used for access different functions. Then cluster we have used for the k-means cluster. This is our data description. Like we have total in our Netflix data set, we have total 7,787 rows with different kinds of TV shows and movies, and each with 12 features to describe the rows. We have the show ID. For type, we have TV show and movie. For the title and director and cast for the TV shows and movie. And the country is the production for the TV shows and movie. The date added is the date, the data added on Netflix. The release year is for the movies and TV shows that are released on that year. Rating, and then durations, and then genre. There are different of genre for the TV shows and movie, and the description is showing the content of TV show and movie. So this is our summary of data before data cleaning. So you can see that we have all the columns as a character as a class, and we have just the duration as a numeric and release year as a numeric. Then we perform the data cleaning. For the data cleaning, first we loaded and explored the data as a head of data and str of data and summary of data. Then before removal of missing file, there are some empty values and empty files that were not showing, so we converted the empties into NA, and then we counted for the NA files, and then we removed, and then we standardized the data. And there are some data types we need to correction for that, so we correct the data types, and then we added some predictive columns for our data analysis. So what we found during our analysis, we had like 3,631, almost like 46.63% record that has null values in the fields. So we need to set NA for the fields, and there were no duplications for our data, so it was a good part. And then we conversion from character to the different data types. Then we created the date added field into three, added month, year, and date. And this is the image for our missing data. So there are almost like 2,389 from the director part and 718 from the cast. You can see. So this is our summary before data cleaning. So we had all the columns class as a character, and after data cleaning we have put the show ID as a character. For the type we use factor as a movie and TV show. Then for the title is a character, the director character, cast for character, and country also we read as factor. So we can count like for the countries, and we also did a factor for genre so that we can find out like what kind of genre we have. And for the duration is also, and for the rating, we also applied for characters so that we can find out in details. And this is our first chart for as a distribution of shows by type. So in our Netflix data, we have total 69.1% of movie and 30.9% of TV shows. It shows that Netflix has more data for movies and as an insights, we can see that Netflix primarily focus on movies which dominate its content library. TV shows are still a significant portion, but they are outnumbered by movies. And as a recommendation, we can mention that viewers have a wide variety of movies option to choose from, and encourage Netflix to encourage audience to explore both movie and TV shows categories. As we can see for the countries, we have the most data for United States. It's almost 59.6%, and then second highest is India for 21.5%, and after then UK for 9.3%, and for Japan 5.3%, and for the South Korea is 4.3%. These are the top 5 countries have the data on Netflix, which are most popular. And as a recommendation, we can say to encourage the audience to explore more shows and movies from different countries. And this also the bar chart for the top 5 countries TV shows, but this shows the values, and this for the percentage of data using, and this the number of data. Now I will hand over to Kay for our next presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Abani. Top 5 country TV shows and movies. This chart insight. United States dominant with 2,555 shows. The US leads in content availability on Netflix, boosting in the largest library. India's growing market. India follows closely with 923 shows, reflecting the expanding market for the streaming service in the country. UK and Japan. The UK offers 397 shows, while Japan contributes 226, adding the Netflix global content diversity. South Korea. Despite having only 183 shows, South Korea added to the overall variety of content on Netflix. Recommendations: tailor marketing, create regional content, diversify acquisitions. This shows total number of content added by years. Insights: content additional trends. Between 2010 and 2016, the number of contents added remained relatively stable with gradual growth. However, there was a significant increase in content addition from 2016 to 2018, peaking at 2,136 contents in 2018. Peak and decline. The peak in 2018 suggests a successful period of content acquisition or production. The subsequent decline in 2019 raised questions about the factors contributing to this drop. Recommendation: investigate the growth factor. Analyze the rise from 2016 to 2018 replicate strategy for sustainability, diversify content sources, collaborate for varied content, explore different genre and formats. Popular genre for TV shows and movies. Insights. Diverse content landscape. Netflix offers a diverse range of content across TV and movies, catering to various audience preferences. International appeal. International content, including drama and movie hot. Significant appeal, reflecting Netflix's global reach and diverse viewer base. Genre dominate. Certain genres dominate both TV and movies, such as kids' TV and documentaries, indicate strong viewer interest in specific content type. Comedy's popularity. Comedy, whether in TV show or stand-up special, is popular among viewers, highlighting the importance of humor in entertainment. Recommendations. Invest in original content. Sources towards producing more original content across various genres, focusing on creating diverse and engaged shows and movies. Leverage international appeal. Expand the collection of international content to cater to diverse cultural tastes and preferences, including both TV shows and movies. Promote genre diversity. Actively promote a diverse range of genres, including kids' TV, documentaries, comedy, and international drama, to appeal to different viewer segments. Popular content by release year. This chart shows the graph for what data Netflix provided according to the release year. Recommendations. Invest original content. Source toward producing more popular content according to release year. And promote old movie, TV show, and drama. Actively promote more movies and TV shows from 90s and older, which were very popular and classic and also liked by people of middle age or elder. Popular content by age rating. Top 5. The most common rating among the shows in TVMA, with a total 2,863 shows fall into this category. The next popular rating is TV14 with 931 shows. Recommendations for content creators focusing on creating more content rated as a TVMA or TV14 could be beneficial, as they appear to be more prevalent or popular based on this data. For viewers, if you are looking for a widely variety of content, consider explore showing rated as TVMA or TV14, as there are a large number of them available. For platforms hosting shows, diversify the content to cater to audience that prefer their rating like PG-13, R, or TV-PG. This way, you can attract a broader range of viewers. Movies duration across the decades by box plot. The box plot graph represent the duration of a movie across different decades from 1940 to 2020. There is a general decrease in median movie median movie duration over the decades, with movies with 1960 having the highest median durations. The spread of movie duration also seems to decrease over time, indicating a wider variety of movie lengths in the recent years. Recommendations for filmmaker and the content creator. Align with the current trends, consider making slightly shorter film, as this appears to be prevailed trend. Movie duration with release year by K-means insight. This cluster comprise shows movies with recent release year and the short duration, primarily add to Netflix in recent years. It likely consists of newer, shorter content added to the platforms. In the cluster 2, red one, this cluster feature shows movie primarily from mid to late 2010 with varied durations. It also contains a notable number of missing value in the date added column, suggesting a mix of content added to Netflix over the past few years with differing durations. Cluster 3 is a green portion. This cluster shows the movie primarily from early to mid 2010, characterized by longer durations compared to other clusters. Most of the content in this cluster was added to the Netflix several years ago, indicate older, longer, and the standing content on the platform. Recommendation, cluster 2 the cluster 1, promote newer, shorter content for younger audience. Cluster 2, analyze mid to late 2010s content performance for future strategies. Cluster 3, green, revitalize older, longer content with nostalgia marketing. Now, I will hand over to Ifer. Thank you.
Ifa, seems like you're in mute. Guys, we need to rush up like a little bit. We're taking more time right now.
Okay, thank you. Am I audible now?
Yep.
Okay. I am presenting the overall summary and recommendations of our projects. We have delved into enhancing content diversity, understanding viewer preferences, and adapting to growth trends by investing in popular genres, understanding content addition patterns, and leveraging viewer preferences. Netflix can keep subscribers engaged. Furthermore, our recommendations for targeted marketing, localization, and strategic content collaborations aim to reach global audiences, effectively strengthening Netflix's position in different markets. Finally, our analysis offers actionable strategies that directly contribute to Netflix's objective of maximizing subscribers' engagement and retention through strategic content utilization. While we have been doing the project, we faced a few challenges, but we mitigated all of almost all of them by managing our cases. The first one was converting data type for data, finding for appropriate library, finding or performing the regression, data set that not contain rating of the shows for recommending movies and TV shows, data set that not specify the main cast, and some of the columns contain the nil values. My teammate has indicated at the beginning, this project was performed by a team of 4, Randy, Kaori, Avani, and myself. So each of us performed. So thank you very much. And if you have any comment, question, this is the time.